The second of the Group 1s, the Centenary Sprint Cup, 1,200 metres the trip here. The scratching is Premier, so 7 to go around here in the 7th. Beat the Clock won last year. He won an international day as well, beating Hot King Prawn by a neck. Mr Stunning ran 4th in that race. Full of Beauty ran 5th. Wishful Thinker was 6th, only beaten a length and a half. DB Pin ran 7th. He won this race 2 years ago. And Thanks Forever didn't run on international day. He was 3rd last time out behind Big Party. Now, Thanks Forever is the horse that's been up at Chung Fa in the last 30 days and tackles Group 1 company here for the first time. With the absence of Premier, that leaves it open for Hot King Prawn.
Yes, he may get a relatively easy time on the lead, but I don't think he wants to dawdle because Beat the Clock has got a really good turn of foot by high-class sprint standards. So, Wishful Thinker, we know, tends to get back. Likewise, DB Pin. Hot King Prawn has to be the key tactical pace angle.
Beat the Clock looks good. His track work's been really good. He's nice and relaxed. He's a 9-time winner from his 23 starts with 8 seconds as well. So he's got a great record, this horse, and he goes really nicely in the mornings and nothing has changed for him. So more than happy if you do like him. Hot King Prawn, now he's come on as well from his start. He's only had the 2 runs this season. He goes nice and comfortably here as well. So his track work's been pretty good leading into it, and it was a good run from him behind Beat the Clock on the sprint day. And Mr Stunning, the old boy, he goes nice and comfortably here as well. So Hugh Bowman booked to ride Mr Stunning. Just slow work for him, but another one I thought went really well on International Day.
He certainly did. All right, let's start with Beat the Clock, who was successful on that day. He'll, of course, be ridden by Joe Moreira.
Joe, Beat the Clock, the Hong Kong Sprint winner, 3-time Group 1 winner. You've ridden him in 2 of his trials since the Hong Kong Sprint. How have they been?
The trial has been pretty good. I'm extremely happy the way how he's done it. And I think we're going to Sunday's race fully fit.
You take on most of the horses from the Hong Kong Sprint. Who's the one you're most worried about in the field?
Full of Beauty. I think he was a bit unlucky last time. Looks like something happened in the gate and he didn't really jump as fast as he could. And he's done that before as well. And he finished very close. So I think if he's able to do things a little bit more proper, he might be the one to beat.
This is a horse he's ridden 21 times from his 23 starts. He's never finished out of the top 3. What makes him the horse that he is? Why is he so good, Beat the Clock, Joe?
He just doesn't like to run a bad race, and he's such a sound and nice individual, you know? In some of the races that he even ran places, he could have won. For some reasons, like being a little bit unlucky on gates and splits, he was just not able to get there. And he's a winner, he probably knows that, and he likes to keep on doing his best every time he steps out.
Yeah, he's just so consistent, and so consistent at a very high level. He wasn't favourite on International Day. He wasn't even second favourite. Hot King Prawn, and Hot King Prawn's fighting out favouritism here as well. But he's clearly the one to beat, isn't he?
Yeah, Joe, straight from the set of Top Gun with the flying jacket on. Of course he's the one to beat. He's just super consistent in every way, including tactically. I don't think he's needs a fast pace. I think he can quicken off the steady pace. And when we saw him in December, he just did what he does best, puts himself in the right spot and quickens that little bit better than high-class rivals.
Yeah, I think he'll win again. You know, he's done everything right and he won that race really nicely and his work's been good since.
All right, well, here we go. It's Athero out in front, who unfortunately isn't lining up. He's on his way back from a fever. Mr Stunning, Hot King Prawn down on the inside, but Beat the Clock gives them, you know, first run, but still gets over the top.
Yeah, he doesn't do it in flamboyant style, and he doesn't do it by far, Paul, but he does it. And look how quickly he makes up 2.5 lengths or so. He runs by Mr Stunning, he runs by Hot King Prawn, who battles back well, he runs by Athero, and he's named very well. Beat the Clock, precision timing again.
Yeah, well, really good win from him. I like the run from Full of Beauty. I know Joe alluded to it in the interview there, but he did get held up at a vital stage and hit the ground. Hit the race nicely, but I don't think he'll overturn it with Beat the Clock. I think Beat the Clock's the one to beat.
And the horse that finished furthest back there, DB Pin, actually had the fastest closing sectional. Move away from international and Group 1 form to Thanks Forever here. Over 1,000 metres. This is obviously 12.
Yeah, the third behind Big Party here, I don't think is really up to this quality of horse. I mean, he's for me, I couldn't have him in this race with these other runners. He's been running well recently, but not for me.
He's a bit of a twilight horse with that rating now. Low hundreds is his rating, but with all these high-quality horses on deck, he has to find something in the 120s to make a mark here.
All right, that's thanks forever. Final piece of vision we'll have a look at is at the trials with Mr. Stunning, Hot King Prawn, DB Pin, and Full of Beauty. And Mr. Stunning is a very good horse on the track, but he's a very good worker in the mornings as well.
I'm very reluctant to leave him out. But I have in terms of trying to find the Quinella here. He's been second in this race twice. Terrifically consistent horse, former champion sprinter. But he does tend to find 1-2 good nowadays, and he's lost his last 4 against Beat the Clock, Paul.
Yeah, he has, yeah. I've got him on a minor line, but I think Beat the Clock's got his measure at the moment.
All right, OK. He's probably trialled the best of the 4 going round there, though. But Beat the Clock at this stage is favourite, not by a great deal, though.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I thought he might be close to odds on, Beat the Clock, but I've got him on top. I think he can clearly win this race. Full of Beauty is an interesting one because he was unlucky at his last couple of starts, actually. He is a winner this season. That win was down the straight 1,000, but the 1,200 doesn't hold any fears from it, I don't think, as well. So I just got him in slightly ahead of his stablemate, Hot King Prawn, who's obviously going very well. Just had the 2 runs this season and likely to be right on that pace. And then the old boy, Mr. Stunning, I threw him in there for 4th. I went 1-4-2-3, but I like this 1 and 4 Quinella with what's 8.8 at the moment for Full of Beauty. Might just add a little bit of extra spice into the Quinella. What's it at the moment? I just can't see at the moment. But anyway, the Quinella 1 and 4.
Thanks, Paul. Same 4 horses for me in a slightly different order. Sometimes the right answer is the obvious answer, and Beat the Clock looks the obvious answer. And he could put himself in line for Horse of the Year honours here. If he keeps winning these Group 1s and Beauty Generation is on the wane, why not? Hot King Prawn ran a great race. He's come back from colic surgery in tremendous heart. Mr. Stunning, I think, will run his race, but Full of Beauty, I think, is a springer here because he's young. His ratings keep getting a little bit better, and he didn't quite get the rub of the green last time or the time before. So I'll take 2 horses in the Quinella with the champion sprinter, Beat the Clock with Hot King Prawn and Full of Beauty.
All right, I got the 1-2Q as well. I've actually got a John Size quartet, though, with DB Pin thrown in as well, along with Full of Beauty, which...
It's astonishing the way John Size has dominated Hong Kong's top sprints for the last 3 seasons, and practically all of them, I think, are not expensive imports. The PPGs, horses who'd never even run when they came to Hong Kong. It's a tremendous feather in his cap.
It certainly is, and the story isn't done with just yet either. That's Beat the Clock and the rest of the team in the Centenary Sprint Cup, race number 7. We've still got 3 good races to go. The 2 Class 3s and a Class 2. That's all still to come.